Chase, okay.
It is, but I
Yeah, but where did you see it? Or you heard? Or did you talk to Judd?
no, I think I asked Judd, like, who did they pick?
I will call the council meeting of October 8th, 2025 to order. Will you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will you please call roll?
Foster,
Here.
Madden, Perry,
Here.
Bilski,
Here.
Allner,
Here.
Vincent,
Here.
Here. Is there a motion to confirm the appointment of Kristen Meir as an Orange Village police officer?
Make that motion. Second.
I'll let you figure out who was on that one. Deputy Chief Callahan, are you speaking on this one, or? Okay.
Evening. It is my honor to introduce Kristen Muir for your confirmation as a patrol officer for the Orange Village Police Department. Kristen is joined this evening by her husband, Richard, and their four wonderful children, Gavin, Carter, Kinsley, and Bryson. Also here in support of her other family members and close friends. Testament to the strong foundation and support system she brings with her. Kristen comes with 8 years of law enforcement experience. She began her career at John Carroll University Police Department, where she served for 4 years. Most recently, she spent the past 4 years as an officer with the Kirtland Hills Police Department. During her time in Kirtland Hills, Kristen earned her crash certification, served as a field training officer, and received multiple commendations. And perhaps the most memorable, she delivered a baby while on duty. These accomplishments speak not only to her training and skill, but to her compassion and composure in high-stress situations. Kristen, whether she's participating in events like Trunk or Treat, mentoring new officers, or simply sharing warm smile in a friendly wave from her cruiser, Kristen leads with kindness, professionalism, and integrity. She is excited to begin this chapter with the Orange Village Police Department, as she has expressed her deep commitment to serving and protecting our community. I respectfully submit Kristen Muir for your confirmation, and I'm confident she will be a great addition to our department and to our village.
Any questions or comments? The baby you delivered, is it right there? I say they don't let you keep it. Please call roll.
Foster,
Yes.
Madden, Perry, Bilski, Allner,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Silver.
Yes. Congratulations. Mayor Klein will administer the oath of office.
Join me up here as I administer the oath of office. And how would your husband like to do the honors? I would love for him. He can chew on it for a while.
Somebody take this thing.
Make great teething, but be careful with them. It's my privilege to administer the oath of office for you as you join us here at Orange Village and become part of the Orange Village family and police department. So if you would, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Kristen Meehan,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Ohio, the rules, regulations, and charter of Orange Village, and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially, good job, discharge my duties as an Orange Village police officer of Orange Village, State of Ohio, during my continuance in said office.
Orange Village, State of Ohio,
During my continuance
during my continuance
in said office.
in said office.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard. So, sign this, you get to keep one, and when you go down the dais here, hand it over to Anna, the second one. Once again, congratulations and welcome aboard. One of these is for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your service, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, we're glad to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Is there a motion to confirm the appointment of Chase Borgia as a part-time firefighter EMT?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. Thank you. That name sounds awfully familiar, by the way, that last name.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll see how this one works out. Case, why don't you come on up here? Why don't you introduce who you brought with you tonight?
Today I brought my grandparents, my mom, my dad, as you might know, and my girlfriend Ann.
Welcome. And your sister.
Rivalry.
Well, for your confirmation tonight, Chase Borgia comes to us as a 2025 graduate from Olmsted Falls High School. During high school, Chase followed his desire to serve others by completing his basic EMT training during high school at the Polaris Career Center. Right out of school over this last summer, Chase obtained his firefighting certification from Tri-Seas Fire Academy. He is currently enrolled at the University Hospital's paramedic program in Parma. We expect him to complete that training at the end of next summer. This gives us a nice long runway to get him trained up. In his spare time, Chase enjoys working out and spending time with his girlfriend, in addition to competing in disc golf, which he claims would be an ideal career if this one doesn't work out. I am looking forward to Chase bringing his sense of pride, compassion, and the desire to, quote, go above and beyond. Those are all his words, but all attributes we try to aspire to as Orange Village firefighters. And I always try to pull some fun fact during our interview process, and you truly never know what you will get. I am sure no way, fellas in the back, that this factoid will ever come up again, but apparently Chase is afraid of spiders. I do look forward to him to completing paramedic school, just to be able to watch him tell his dad what to do on EMS calls as well. But in all seriousness, we're excited to have him on board. And members of council, I present Chase Borgia for your confirmation this evening.
All right. Thank you. Any questions or comments? Anna, please call roll.
Foster,
Yes.
Madden,
Yes.
Perry, Bilski,
Yes.
Allner,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Silver.
Yes.
Chase, you bring a lot of family here with you and a lot of history to Orange Village. We really appreciate having a next generation. Who would you like to have put the badge on, pin the badge on you?
I wouldn't pick my dad, but I would
Okay, well, before you can do that, we have to administer the oath of office, and you have to sign the paper. So that having been said, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Chase Borgia,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
solemnly swear that I support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the rules, regulations, and charter of Orange Village,
the rules, regulations, and charter of Orange Village,
and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
discharge my duties
discharge my duties
as a part-time firefighter EMT,
as a part-time firefighter EMT of
Orange Village, State of Ohio,
Orange Village, State of Ohio,
during my continuance in said office.
during my continuous in said office.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard. Undo the honors. Dad's going to have you drive a car around the parking lot. Parade. So sign these two. One is for you, and one is to be given to Anna when you go. Yep. Welcome to Orange Village.
Thank you, sir.
Officially. Take that with you. One's for you.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Congratulations, welcome aboard.
Thanks for everything.
Congratulations to the big sister.
Everyone that's here for the swearings in, thank you for coming. You are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but if you wanted to take off, we'll give you a moment right now to clear the room.
I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm cold.
This is so fun.
Second generation.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You must be a proud dad.
This,
All right, moving on. Is there a motion to approve the special council meeting minutes of September 3rd, 2025?
Moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, I heard Jeff first.
I'll give it to him. Fine.
Any questions or comments? Anna, please call roll.
Foster,
Yes.
Madden, Perry,
yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Allner,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Silver.
Yes. Motion to approve the council meeting minutes of September 10th, 2025.
Motion.
Thank you. I will second that. Any questions or comments? Anna, please call roll.
Foster, Madden, Perry,
Abstain.
Bilski,
Yes.
Allner,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Silver.
Yes. Is there a motion to approve the purchase and installation of a replacement electronic message center LED sign for the municipal center from Graphic Detail Inc. at a cost not to exceed $33,343? Thank you, Jeff. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Bob?
Yes. 2025, in the 401 accounts, we had approved in the budget for the replacement of our EMC, our electronic message center out front. It's on 10 years. That's about normal lifespan of something in that nature, that type of appliance, where the diodes start fading out. That current sign we have is a 20 millimeter, and the current one that we're asking for approval is an 8 millimeter. What that means to you is the spacing of the diodes. So as they get closer, they become way more clear. So as you can see, sometimes the message on there is a little distorted. That technology, sort of like computers and, big screen TVs, advances so rapidly. So there is 10, there is 6. We've had 2 companies, and one was Watchfire, and the other one was Daktronic. Watchfire brought out a mobile unit and had the different variations of the millimeter stuff for us to view and look at. This is a cloud-based program, where the other one was a server-based. This contract would also include the mobile connection for the life of the sign that we have, and it allows Anna, which most of the time does the scheduling, she can go in remotely and update it. The technology just on the operating side of the system has drastically improved as well. The new sign will be a little larger than that, but our second competitor was about $1,000 more, and the one that we chose also had a 5-year parts and labor warranty, where the other company, Daktronic, had a 5-year parts and only a 1-year labor warranty. So looking to seek approval to go ahead and have this sign authorized.
Timing of it, when would it get installed?
It'll be anywhere a couple of months. By the time all said and done, they build these as needed. One of the reasons we also went with these companies, both companies are American, right here in America, and they're constructed and built. A lot of the stuff still comes from foreign countries, but the parts turnaround, in our due diligence and everything, clearly had, they're known as Tier 1, the Daktronic and Watchfire, because they're those upper level based on operation, longevity, parts, service. So that's where we found ourselves at.
Like a brick frame around this one, for lack of a better term?
Well, the sign is constructed with 2, brick columns,
Yeah.
and then the top. The panels are mounted to a framework behind, so there's a panel on each side. So, everything will stay inconsistent. They're just replacing, the LED panels itself.
That's what I was getting at. The brick will stay the same. That doesn't need replacing.
The
Okay.
watermark there, The only thing that will need to be moved, we'll have to shave down some of the landscaping in the front, and we'll have to relocate the address plate, because with the size of it, it's going to come a little lower.
Any potential use for the old frame as like a part?
My understanding of markets, they try marketing these. You might find somebody that's looking for parts, but typically there's not a big market on used LED signs. What we will do, though, is, test that and put it on our, government surplus, which we normally do with most of our equipment.
Potential use for us in like the certain times we need extra signs up and.
No, I wouldn't think so, because we would have to craft something, when you're reusing something that's getting towards its end of its lifespan, construct something. Plus, the other thing is it had to have connectivity to the server, which means antenna related, so you'd be very limited on where you'd be able to use it.
And the parts are only like a 10-year in, and it's 10 years.
Beyond, yeah.
You said we've had that sign up for 10 years?
Crazy, right? Nope. 2015.
5 years, but
Oh, no.
that's amazing.
That sign was up well before COVID.
I know when we first put that sign up, there was concern that sometimes it could be too bright for nighttime traffic and stuff. I'm sure that's a consideration.
All that stuff, as a matter of fact, the technology, and Anna played with it as well as Terry played with the whole operating, but you can schedule those things like we do now, where it turns down at certain hours. The illumination automatically sets based on, how bright it is. When the sign originally went in, that was one of our concerns, that we wanted to be friendly to our neighbors.
Right.
And not, light up their living room at, 2 o'clock in the morning. So all those functions are still there, along with a bunch of different enhancements, in the operating system. So
Cost for the cloud, and then is that included in the price?
that's all included in there, yeah. So it's all cellular, and you know, they run through Verizon, and
Good to go.
All right, any other questions or comments? Ian, would you please call roll?
Foster. Madden.
Yes.
Perry. Bilski.
Yes.
Allner.
Yes.
Vincent. Silver.
Yes. So a motion to approve the purchase of a hook lift truck build, snowplow, and skid-mounted hopper spreader from Concord Road Equipment at a cost not to exceed $168,090.88 that was bid under the State of Ohio Cooperative Purchasing Program.
I'll make that motion.
You, Kim, is there a second?
Second.
You, Bob, I assume this is you too?
refresh your memory, early in 2025, back in the winter, we authorized the purchase of our chassis. You know, we're replacing a salt truck. Particular, it's a hook lift, which we use for our container service. And the hook lift does is allows us to use multiple different attachments to it. Flatbed, you know, V-box spreaders, a tanker, so on and so forth. The chassis just came in, and it was discussed back when we approved the chassis that we would be coming back to council, that essentially you're committing to doing the whole truck. I can't buy a chassis without outfitting it. So here we are, after about 8 months, our truck chassis is here. We would like to get this to Concord so they can start ordering the material. The word from Concord is that the construction of the truck will not start till January 1, but they'd like to have it there where the engineers can start ordering stuff and outfitting. So with the approval of this, you're essentially, since the 2026 budget hasn't been approved yet, you'll be authorizing this purchase based on that it will be an approved item in the 2026 budget. The purchase here includes the outfitting of the truck, which is all the hydraulics, the hook lift, the lighting package, all the safety equipment, along with the V-box spreader, which is liquid, also applicants. It has saddle tanks on there. Liquid de-icing is one of our tools that we use in our box to keep our roads clean. And it also has the snowplow on there, which is 11-foot snowplow. Power angling. So I'd like to get this approved so we can go ahead and process a purchase order and get this truck out to Concord so they can get and start the build process. Essentially, we probably won't see this truck. It will not be in service for the 25-26 plow season. First time it'll push snow will be the 26-27 season.
Do we have something to manage it now for this season coming up?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Something to manage what this truck would do right now to get us through this season?
Oh, yeah, we have. This is going to replace a truck. When this truck finally comes in, we have the equipment that we need now, and then we'll go ahead and surplus. We'll determine which one, you know, we've got a decision to make, quite frankly, between two trucks. One being older that may be in a little better shape, but we'll see when we get there.
Thanks, Bob. Any questions or comments? Anna, please call roll.
Foster. Madden.
Yes.
Harry. Yes. Bilski. Yes. Allner.
Yes.
Vincent. Yes. Silver.
Yes. Thank you. So the next two items on the agenda are related to the architect for the fire station and the renovation of Village Hall. Before any motions are made, Mayor Klein, I was hoping you could maybe provide us with a summary of the meeting from a couple weeks ago and what the findings were and recommendations are.
I'd be happy to do that. The committee that was consisted of, and most of whom are here, both Chief Genova, Chief Roberts, Bob Zugan, Bob McLaughlin, myself, and Jeff Foster served on the review committee. We met on September 12th to consider the question as to who and what, which architectural firm, and which project. And let me kind of give you sort of the brief summary of that, that meeting. We found that, quite honestly, all 4 firms that were being considered. We'd be happy to work with any of them, but we felt that the committee felt there were 2 firms that really had far more experience in the areas of police and fire, and would both therefore be beneficial to the village in those particular projects. We would get the benefit of their vast knowledge and experience in those 2 areas, and then we would pursue a contract agreement with them. We felt that the projects, for all practical purposes, should be pursued as 2 distinct projects. They are quite a bit different, and should. And we felt that the committee felt that while there may be some value for one architect, we'll talk about that later in the contract process, but it would appear that it is more timely and more efficient for us if we have 2 architects. So it was recommended by the committee to select 2 architects for the projects. The 2 firms will then be offered a scope of service contract to provide pricing as each project separately and potentially both projects combined. The 2 firms that were agreed upon by the committee were DSA, based on their local and national experience with fire station design and their specific consideration of the Orange projects in their submission. And the second firm was Bowen, based on their experience with police and government facilities, along with their consideration of the timeline and process for the Orange projects. Joanne Gowdy, our administrative assistant, took notes, so they're really extensive notes from the conversation that anybody wants to, take a look at them, they're welcome to do so. We went into a lot of detail and discussion on the projects and the selection. So that's the summary. There you go.
Thank you. Any questions or comments before any motions are made? All right, is there a,
Comments after the motions as well, or just only now?
one, if you want to speak now, you can, or?
I want to speak, but I don't care when. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think the committee did a great job. I actually came to the same conclusions myself. I did extensively check references, and while I believe that DSA and Bowen are the correct choices, and I am happy to agree with the committee on that and to not have any dissent. I do want to reiterate that every firm that I checked had instances where there were things that could go wrong or had gone wrong in previous clients of theirs. And so I just want to reiterate, because I see our audience has people from firms, that we need to be very clear about our leadership and direction from here to, from the client, us, to the firms, to make sure that these programs run smoothly. And I've had an extensive discussion with Judd about that offline. I think he agreed with me, and I think we're on the same page about all of that. I have every confidence that both of these firms can do the jobs very well. I'm excited to see what is produced, but with the caveat that we as a body don't go back and forth and change things, later on, that, we sort of have a direction, a clear direction before work is done, because I think that will help both projects move forward in a better manner, and cheaper, more efficiently as well. So.
With that, is there a motion to select DS Architects as the architect for the new fire station project and to authorize the mayor to negotiate a contract with the architect, which will come back to council for approval?
Make that motion.
Thank you. Any other questions on this or comments? Anna, will you please call a roll?
Foster,
Yes.
Madden,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Allner,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Silver.
Yes. Is there a motion to select Richard L. Bowen and Associates as the architect for the renovation of the Village Hall project and to authorize the mayor to negotiate a contract with the architect, which will come back to council for approval? Thank you. I will second that. Any questions or comments before we vote? Anna?
Madden,
Yes.
Perry. Yes. Bilski. Yes. Allner,
Yes.
Vincent. Silver.
Yes. All right, great, thank you. Is there a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
Interject one.
May.
The legal counsel and I have prepared a contract that will go out tomorrow to the architects, and there'll be a cover letter to go with it. And then use that as the basis for your submission. Thank you. Again, I want to thank all of the participants to this process. It was a labor. For me, it was a labor of love and a bit of challenge because I know all these people so well, and I think we did well with the groups that came in and presented their credentials to the village to represent us in the design of these facilities. I think the outcomes as a result will be great, and working between the firms and our team will be very effective.
I had a comment I was going to reserve for my comments at the end, but since I think you're probably leaving, I just want to say that I was grateful to have the opportunity to sit on that advisory committee that met a few weeks ago to discuss the 4 architectural groups and their methodology for selecting their choices for recommendation. I appreciated having the opportunity to listen to that. I commend all of the members of the committee in attendance for their thorough review and professional discussion. I truly, truly, truly appreciate your time, your insight, your guidance in offering us these recommendations, and believe that while all of the 4 firms are outstanding, the choices that were made were the right ones to best suit our community's needs at this time. So thank you, and thank you for the work that you're going to do.
Thank you. Moving on, is there a motion to approve the treasurer's report for August 2025?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Dana?
Who said I'll second?
Good evening. You have the cash account summary for August 31st, which shows $21,872,000 in all of our bank accounts. You have the summary for the month and year-to-date activity. August revenues for all funds was $4,193,000, and our expenses was $885,000. The main reason for the discrepancy is that we have our Pinecrest TIF that we received the revenue in August, and the expenditure will not be seen until September. So that's why we have a little extra cash in the bank accounts, and you see those variances. You have the revenue and expenditure report for the general fund. We're at 8/12 or 67% of the year. In our budgeted revenues, we've spent, we received 76% of what we budgeted for revenue, and our expenditures were about 56% of our budgeted expenditures. And there was no other new variances. There's just a few carryovers of just variances from paying things or having adjustments that will kind of fall off and balance out once we get closer to the end of the year.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on the treasurer's report?
Foster,
Yes.
Madden,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Allner,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Silver.
Yes. So a motion to approve the tax administrator's report for August 2025. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Dana?
Before I get to August, I had sent out in your packets the July 31st tax administrator report. If you recall, last month when I gave you your report, I did not have the distribution for the Pinecrest. It was all included as Orange Village, and we just report it and break out the Pinecrest developments for tracking purposes. So I resent out the report to you showing $124,574.60. Was Pinecrest of our total revenue that we received for Orange Village. Then you have the August report, and in August from all of our sources, our gross collections for August was $511,606.31, which is about $18,668 more than August of 2024.
Year-to-date, we're tracking very well. We're at $793,000 more than where we were in 2024. But I just wanted to note that 2024 is where we had a little bit of a dip. So we're still higher than 2023, but last year we did have a lower year than in 2023. You have the monthly gross flow chart as well as the cumulative, and you can see on the cumulative where 2023 and 2024 fell with where we are currently.
All right.
I had another thing to just comment on as well. Today I received an email from the Regional Income Tax Agency, and they sent out non-filer letters today for any taxpayers that had not filed a municipal income tax return for the municipality. So if any of the residents receive those letters, there is a phone number on there for them to call the Regional Income Tax Agency to talk to somebody and get that squared away. So we just wanted to make sure that the residents know if they do receive it, it will give them a phone number or where to call and where to mail and get any of that documentation filed. In a lot of the cases, it might be somebody that no longer has a child that's graduated from college and moved away, where they filed a tax return in 1 year and then they've moved away. And RETA doesn't have that information to update their records, so they may be sending out a letter saying that you haven't filed a return. They just need to get that information updated in their records as to why they may or may not need to do so. So I just wanted to let everybody know that those were going to be coming in the mail in the next day or two. That's all.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments on the tax administrator's report? Please call roll.
Foster. Madden. Carey.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Allner.
Yes.
Vincent. Yes. Silver.
A discussion of the bills to be paid in the month of October in the amount of $636,089.82, and additional September expenses in the amount of $2,372,656.35. Any questions or comments on those?
I do want to point one item out that I find really interesting on this. If you look under the Rush Truck Centers of Ohio, which is the purchase of the chassis for the truck that we've talked about earlier, there's a $3,900 addition on that, which is a tariff. Should the tariffs turn around, depends on what happens with the Supreme Court, we may get that back. We have to sort of pay attention to it.
Is that automatic, or how do we have to apply for it?
I don't know how it's going to work.
It says 3,900. Oh, I thought you said 1,000.
$3,900. That's the tariff on the stuff that came in from Canada.
Pointing that out. Any other questions or comments? All right, moving on. Are there any audience comments relating to agenda items only? Mic should be on for you. If you could just say your name and address and. I think it's on.
It should be on.
Yes. Yes.
That was very nice of you.
There's a sign-in sheet over there.
I just provided it because it usually isn't there, so. Good evening. I'm John Loftus. I live at 4231 Lander Road. Earlier this week, I noticed in the newsletter, Mayor commented on the,
No, I'm sorry, can you speak? Thank you.
sorry.
Yep.
I noticed the newsletter came out, and it referenced the ongoing progress with the 55 and up residents at the Omni development. I guess we refer to it as the Omni development, unlike when this was voted on as the senior living development. Now, I can see why it's just referred to as the Omni development, seeing as 2 months ago or 3 months ago, you passed a variance allowing 15 townhouses that did not require 55 and up. So now we have a very different, we have a residential development that might have, a 55 and up component to it. Not quite what we sold to the voters 2 years ago. That's not surprising because at the same time when you were pushing this, the development was going to provide gifted land to the village. Well, in May of 2024, Councilwoman Allner brought up her concern because all of a sudden you were presented with a grant request to pay for that land. That's kind of a strange gift. And just a few weeks ago, Council President Silver, you raised the same question. I believe your quote was, I thought this was land that was going to be gifted. As we are being updated, that no, there's a grant and we're in competition with 2 other communities for it. So it's not even a guarantee that we're going to get the money. Maybe it has come in, I don't know. And the third thing is, and you just voted on it, we're taking a couple of acres of this land, which was designated as parkland in the vote. Now you're taking it and you're putting it up for a fire department. Now, there may be good reason for doing that. I mean, most of the calls are in that area. But the fact is, that's not what you presented to the voters. And yet you keep changing this. I'm wondering what comes next. An amusement park? Where are we going with this, people? You know, if you're going to change the zoning, stick to what you promised. You know, the voters deserve a little bit more honesty. Thank you very much.
Any other audience comments related to agenda items? Moving on to old business. Ordinance 2025-21, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Ohio Bell Telephone Company, establishing a restoration bond deposit for AT&T and declaring an emergency. This is on for third reading. Any other questions or comments on this from previous meetings? Anna, please call roll. Ordinance 2025-21.
I'll make a motion.
I heard Stacy first. You want to second that, Lisa? Thank you. Anna?
Foster. Madden.
Yes.
Perry.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Allner.
Yes.
Vincent.
Yes.
Silver.
Yes. Moving on, ordinance 2025-22, an ordinance amending the annual appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of Orange Village during the calendar year ending December 31st, 2025. This is on for a second reading, and we're looking for a suspension of the rules tonight.
I'll
Dana-
make a motion to suspend the rules.
I will second that. I'm sorry, sir, can you, if you're going to take a phone call, you need to step out. Sir? Sir, if you're going to take a phone call, you need to step outside, please. Thank you. Will you please call roll on suspension of the rules?
Foster.
Yes.
Madden.
Yes.
Perry.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Allner.
Yes.
Vincent. Silver.
Yes. Dana, did you want to go over this ordinance real quick one more time before we vote on it? Thank you.
There are 3 changes to the appropriation ordinance. The first one is under the administration. Other, it increased $3,200 due to the increase of the pavilion rental deposits that we received. Those are then refunded after the event as long as the area is cleaned and hasn't been damaged. And since the revenue has been going up, we have to give out more deposits. So the increase is due to the increase of the deposits we received, and so that revenue offsets this expenditure. The Pinecrest TIF fund increased $25,536, and that's an update of the estimates of the revenues that was collected. And then the third change was in the Recreational Capital Improvement Fund, and that was increased $38,000 for the dog park fencing project. Those were the only changes in the budget amendment.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments? We voted on suspension, right? Okay. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2025-22?
So moved.
Keep doing the same exact time.
I'll take the second on this one. I'll give it to Lisa.
Please call roll.
Foster. Madden.
Yes.
Perry.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Allner.
Yes.
Vincent. Silver.
Moving on, new business, ordinance 2025-23, an ordinance amending section 1325.02A, permit applications of the codified ordinances of Orange Village to clarify that building demolitions require a permit. This is on for first reading. Who's going to speak to this one? Judd is
I guess I can. It's pretty simple.
word addition.
It's a two-word addition for alteration or demolition of any building. We have a couple buildings that are going to be coming down, and make sure that there are proper permits pulled for them, so we're amending the legislative language to make sure that that is done. A little bit about that in my remarks about the buildings coming down. I think we'll be pleased to hear that. So it's basically interjecting the demolition.
We currently require a permit for any alteration of a building, and arguably demolition is an alteration of a building. But we're removing all doubt by expressly calling out the demolition as a permitted activity.
Have there been problems where people have demolished buildings without a permit?
Not in this community.
So this seems like a bit of housekeeping, just adding one word. Would you like to suspend the rules and just get this off of our books?
I'm fine with that, yeah. Is there a motion to suspend the rules on ordinance 2025-23?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Lisa. Is there a second on suspension of the rules?
Second.
Jeff, Anna, please call roll on suspension of the rules.
Foster.
Yes.
Madden.
Yes.
Perry. Bilski.
Yes.
Allner.
Yes.
Vincent.
Yes.
Silver.
Yes. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2025-23? Thank you. I will second that. Any questions or comments?
Foster. Madden.
Yes.
Perry. Bilski.
Yes.
Allner.
Yes.
Vincent. Silver.
Yes. Are there any audience comments relating to matters which advance the good of the village? Looks like none. Mayor Klein, what do you got for us?
I got a lot tonight.
All right.
A lot to cover. First of all, I'll go over sort of the simple stuff. Tomorrow night is to meet the candidates at 7 p.m. here in the council chamber. I hope that people will come, albeit we don't have a hotly contested race for the council, but nevertheless, there is a contest. So people should come and hear from the candidates.
Board will be here too, right?
School board will be here as well. Barbara Greenberg, who has been the moderator in the past, will be moderating this. She does an excellent job. She's taken questions from the community and has some really good, cache of questions to address to the candidates.
Mayor, can that or will that be live streamed?
Yes, it will be.
Thank you.
Can be.
And it will.
Anna.
I said yes.
It already states that.
Monday, October 13th is Columbus and Indigenous Peoples Day. Village Hall will be open and no change in trash recycling or collection will take place. As some of you may know, we've been working through a grant with the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission for a wayfinding program for the parks and connecting our parks with the metro parks and connecting our community with others, identifying all of the places people can go on our trails. And there is a survey that's out now we hope that people will take so that we can develop this wayfinding system both appropriately and efficiently. It's going out to our adjacent communities as well because we want to find out what they know about us. Paper shredding is Friday, October 17th from 9 a.m. to noon or until the truck is full. It will take place at the Orange Village Service Department at 4680 Lander Road. Leaf collection begins on Monday, October 20th and runs until Wednesday, November 26th. Is that correct, Bob? And from 3 to 5, Orange Community Education and Rec will host their trunk or treat on Saturday, October 25th from 3 to 5 p.m. Registration is required. stop by and visit with our police and firefighters. They will have a trunk open for treating. Trick or Treat will be held on Friday, October 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. For the safety of the trick-or-treaters, please do not place your leaves on the sidewalk or trail on Halloween. We'd appreciate your being conscientious about that. Some other things last night, or Monday, no, Monday night.
They shouldn't be placing leaves on the sidewalk or trail anyway, because there's people that walk, and that's.
Do it.
Well, let's ask the people not do that.
The boundary has been officially changed between Beechwood and Orange Village along Orange Place. We're in the midst of developing an MOU between Beechwood and Orange Village to identify the requirements that each community will have as a result of that for both operations and adjudication of the and management of the street. Mr. Byron has developed the first pass at it. It will be back and forth with Beechwood, and then we will adopt it here in Orange Village. First Calls program, a partnership that has been initiated between Beechwood, Solon, and Pepper Pike and Orange, there will be an MOU that is in the process of being created and will come to council for ratification. There is an expense associated with it that will also come here for approval. And it's an incredibly important program. I have to credit Councilwoman Ulner for bringing this to our attention and helping us understand the value of it and the importance of it, and now moving forward with it. I wanted to talk for a minute about the town hall meeting that was held on Monday night. Our state representative, Juanita Brent, was here. She is in the last year of her term, as she's term limited out. She will no longer be our state representative. She came with her potential successor. Her name is Gabe Crenshaw. She is a school board member from Cleveland Heights and is running for the replacement of Juanita Brent, who is now running for Ward 1 councilwoman in Cleveland. In any event, the focus of our meeting, I thought, was incredibly important, and there's information available to it. She talked about the legislative activity relative to the redrawing of legislative maps in Ohio and the process that is currently underway. There's a lot of problems with it. There's a lot of work to be done. But one of the most interesting things that she brought up is that we have the ability as residents and citizens to draw our own maps and turn them into the state. And there is a website called davesredistricting.org, spelled out DAVESREDISTRICTING.org, where you can sign up and go in, and it gives you all the information. It's like a SketchUp project for legislative maps. The legislature is trying to play they're trying to wait out the clock and get to a point where there is no legislative map. And I think that as citizens, we really need to get in on the conversation and be part of the process and not just find ourselves at the end of it being very unhappy with what the outcome is. So she spent a lot of time talking about that. I don't want to go through all the detail of it. It was a very impressive meeting, and I have information on it if anybody is interested. Many of you may not know this. The Orange Village Urgent Care Center that has been in the Minoff Center is no longer there. So if you need to visit an urgent care, it's now in the Chagrin Plaza on Chagrin Boulevard. It moved there on September 22nd. They moved over, and they will be serving the community from there. There was an article that I wrote back in July on stormwater management that is a really important thing that we need to pay attention to in our properties. As individuals, as homeowners, as property owners, we have a duty and a responsibility to our neighbors to maintain the water courses that occur on our properties, whether they are a pond, drainway, a swale. We need to take care of them, because if we don't, they cause problems for our neighbors, and the problems get to be bigger and bigger. We are currently looking at the potential of developing some legislation as to how to manage particularly ponds that are in the community that are not maintained, and what will take place with them. Look forward to that. We may have something coming forward to council next month to discuss on that issue. There is the National Trails Summit will take place in Cleveland. People are coming from all over the country to come to Cleveland, and they're going to be visiting the Orange Village trails. There's a bus tour that will take place on Tuesday, the 28th of October, and Wednesday, the 29th of October, where groups from the conference will come out here to Orange Village. We'll have an opportunity to talk to them about the development of the trails and the construction, financing, and building of them, and what the outcome has been. I will be leading the tours and talking at the conference that will be at the Hilton downtown both of those days. So Orange should be proud of the fact that we're getting that kind of national recognition for something that we've done, and we've influenced other communities to take on similar projects. As we talked about a minute ago in the budget amendment that was just made that included the dog park, I have received a grant from the Cuyahoga County to the tune of $28,282 that will go to the cost of the dog park. In addition, I'm pleased to say, and the schools will be excited about this, there's an amount of $628,967.16 that is going to the Orange School District from the Cuyahoga County's Real Estate Assessment Fund. And I'm pleased to share that information. Last but not least, we talked a minute ago about demolition, and I have some good news to report that in talking with the developers for the Pinecrest Residential, the Walnut Hills Residential project, the Beechwood Inn is slated to come down by the end of October. So this has been a long-awaited, we'll see, but I've been told that a contractor has been engaged, and they are scheduling to come in, and therefore they need the permit that we just required that they pull to do that work. So I'm thoroughly excited about that fact. It's something that Kathy had hoped to have had happen on her watch, but it couldn't get there. It's now looks like it's going to happen, and at the same time, Randy is going to be pulling down the extra houses that are still remaining on Walnut Hills and get rid of those as well. That covers everything I have for this evening.
All right, thank you very much. I just have real quick, the Centennial Celebration Committee met about a month or so ago. We had a couple people at that. We voted on and agreed to a logo for the Centennial that a resident that I happen to be married to created that I think is pretty good. We also had a table at the farmers market a couple weeks ago. We got a few extra people signed up there as well. 5 or 6 people signed up there. So we are moving ahead with that. That is about all that I have. Committee reports and comments by council members. Jeff Foster.
This first one, thank you, is a kind of a public service announcement. After the last council meeting that I attended, I had was working in the yard, doing a regular thing. I had consumed a Celsius energy drink. Stayed up that day, drank a cup of coffee. So the Celsius was at 4 a.m. Coffee was at 12 a.m. plus or minus. By 2 p.m., I was in the hospital with a rapid heart rate, AFib, 150. Couldn't break it. Medication, IVs. And then ultimately they had to cardiovert me, so they had to sedate me, cardiovert me. I got burn patch marks to prove it. So this is for people like when you get older, you don't realize, but you get dehydrated quicker, you don't drink enough, and then those drinks accelerate your heart rate and your metabolism. There's a lot of the research that I did has proprietary information, and it doesn't tell you everything that's in the drink. Then I went to the NCAA website, and it only allows their students to drink 2 of those cans a day. I only had 1 in a cup of coffee. The average amount of caffeine in that particular drink is 270 to 300. A cup of coffee is generally 80 to 100 milligrams. So this is more of a public service thing than it is, be aware. And I'm lucky. I always consider myself in pretty good shape. We did find a little bit of heart disease. Maybe that contributed to it, but nothing significant. But I'm a healthcare guy, and I knew what was going on, and I did not enjoy being in the hospital. So I'm just saying, be aware the older you get about your hydration and what you put in your body. So that's more of a public service announcement, and for everybody, especially the guys that get older. I'm just joking, but it's easier to tolerate. During that time, while I was kind of in the hospital, I got great care at the VA. Could have went anywhere. I went to the VA. So moving on, I was in there for a couple of days. Ned and the Veterans Committee came up with an Orange Village Veterans View. So what we like to do is quarterly, so it's not too intrusive, highlight veterans in the community. Just a simple little write-up. Ned did a beautiful, while I was in the hospital, a beautiful write-up and an introduction about it. There'll be more to come. But if there's a veteran in the community quarterly, we like to highlight them. It can go into the news mail, you know what I mean, and go from there.
Get it to Anna.
Yeah, and then she can type it up. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Who's next? Phil Madden.
Yes, there's a movie coming up. It's going to be at the OHS Auditorium on October 25th. It's called Ripples of Plastic, and they call it an eye-opening journey through the unseen impacts of plastic pollution in the Great Lakes region. So that's going to be on October 25th at 6 o'clock. The doors open at 5:30. The directors will be there for discussion as well. Let's see. Also, there's a meeting coming up on the 14th, the Sustainability Committee. I'm not sure the agenda. The chairman won't be there. And we had 2 people at our last meeting, so if you're interested.
Great, thank you. Lisa Perry.
Thanks. We are entering that time of year where we've got to have a budget passed by the 1st of January, which really means by December 10th for us. So I'm inviting you all to the first budget meeting with Finance Committee on November 12th at 6 p.m. You'll get a packet from Dana a week before, right, Dana? And it'll have the budget in there. I encourage you to read it thoroughly and come up with questions or concerns, if you have any, before that meeting to Dana, so she can gather the information and answer those questions during our meeting. She may even give you an answer before the meeting, but it helps her to have those questions before. We have to have this really kind of well thought out, and that's why I encourage you to really look over the booklet she gives you before that meeting. If there are bigger things, then we will continue meetings through December 3rd, and possibly December 10th. But usually what we do is get it all out of the way before that first November meeting, and it's usually kind of everybody's in agreement by the time we have to. Finance has to recommend to council. We're all on the same page. So please be there and read it.
All right, thank you. Ryan Bilski, sorry.
Two questions that I have that have come up in conversation with residents. I live in Orangewood. If we or residents in Orangewood were interested or curious to learn about how we would get more streetlights, what is that process like, and how is a decision made for streetlight placement? And we may have talked about this a while ago, but please refresh my memory.
Answer that one? We're actually working on that right now. We're working with CEI to get some pricing on additional lighting. It's been something on the radar screen for a bit. And once we have that information, Bob is working with their rep to put that together.
I've been also thinking about this issue for a while, and I had a recommendation that I think may solve a lot of problems, because this has been something I've heard from, especially from older people since I started on council, so for 28 years. I think sometimes those reflectors on the road that show you the lanes, they have them on freeways. Every freeway I go on has those reflectors. They do actually a better job than the overhead lighting. The overhead lighting is expensive, and it also has a detrimental impact to our community, our environment. And we had a council member on here who was adamant that is light pollution. I heard those concerns years ago. So I don't know if it's possible to look at alternatives to overhead lighting in this process, but I encourage it.
It's not really my business, but I will say this. I think the reflective on the road is great for driving. I think the lighting is great for safety, so that people,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a safety issue. And
Yeah, the people I'm talking to in particular are people who walk and want to feel more comfortable walking in the evenings. But again, I didn't know if there's some sort of scientific method or calculation to the placement, feet apart or.
Well, if I can add to that, I think this was a recommendation going back to planning and zoning. Most of the time, this goes back when the developer comes to the village under planning and zoning, and they have a development plan, and they put in where they want, they send it to First Energy, they look at it, and it's approved through that process, recommended to council, and done. So we're running out of room for, dedicated streets. We still have the privates. But, you can start anything in the future if you want to be inclusive of that. But typically when they've gone in, the important areas is around radiuses, intersections, stuff like that. That's what they wanted to illuminate. And obviously it changes too based on what development, whether it's underground feed
Right.
or overhead. Overhead certainly makes it a whole lot easier because they can put a utility pole is already there, so they can put a Cobra head luminaire on it and just feed off, and then we pay just a flat rate. Well, essentially we would pay a flat rate for service no matter whether it's direct burial underground or a Cobra head on a light. The problem, the challenge you have then in developments is such as Orangewood, Orange Hill, Orange Tree, everything's underground fed, so you have to come from a transformer. So you have the location of the transformer, and then based on that is where do you want the location of the light. Typically, they'll, First Energy, if I give them a location, they'll send it through engineering. They look at their grid, see where the power needs to come from. They give us the cost of the pole, the installation, typically the boring or the conduit to get the power from the transformer to the light pole is on us. The last one we did that I recall was at the Honeybell Orange Tree Drive intersection, and somewhere, that one was missed. They can be expensive, $2,400 to $4,000. The flat rates, essentially it's the way to go because everything's LED now. So tariff for the billing for the lights actually went down a number of years ago. And if you don't recall, I think we had approval by council to do the expense of upgrading the LED lights at all our major intersections after the trails were in. You know, we took away that amber-colored light and put in LEDs. So the mayor's asked me to look. You know, what I need to do is look at locations. I think in Orangewood it becomes challenging because you're going to have a resident that wants one in his front yard, and then, as Lisa said, I think 2 surveys ago in the community survey, we asked that specific question about lights. And, you know, it wasn't overwhelmingly no. I mean, there's been case studies around where they put in lights, and the next thing you know, residents want shielding because it's illuminating my room all night long. It's in the bedroom, you know, it lights up. So it's a working process with the mayor. He's asked me to take a look at that, and, you know, we'll move forward between myself and the mayor and have a deeper discussion.
I think we have legislation on the Orange Books that at night, every pedestrian has to have reflective gear, if not like a lighted vest thing. Yeah, because it is dangerous to be walking at night, even on our trails, because you're crossing driveways, you're crossing streets. I would encourage residents who have this concern to go purchase a vest of some sort to help people see them. Because we're not going to light up all of Orangewood. We're going to light up maybe some intersections, but that's, you know, not really going to solve the problem.
That's fair.
And Mrs. Perry, to your point, you know, the traffic lanes, even in Orangewood, you know, there's striping down only the main road. So you don't have striping down every single road. That you'll find that in all the developments. So actually, only Orangewood has the main road through because it's considered a major, you know, pass-through where Orange Hill, Orange Tree sort of dead end into that development. But you have one, you're illuminating walkways, the road itself, or, you know, you're illuminating a driving path. So when you say put the markers on the street, you know, we stripe every year, and that has glass grid in there. So typically at night when you're driving, you see that the illumination of the glass bead in the paint that sort of helps illuminate your sidelines and stuff. So I think there's definitely 2 different, you know, things we're talking about here, and as far as safety.
The one's for the pedestrians, right? So
Wait, don't move that mic yet. No, just kidding. One more question. The other question I do have, and Judd, maybe you could speak to this as well, but a sidewalk from Landerwood Glen, Orangewood to Lander Circle. Is there, where has that conversation gone, or where has it been?
Well, I can tell you this. When Kathy left office, she made me promise her that should Pepper Pike bring their trail south of the circle, that I would complete the last section of it from Landerwood Glen that gets us all the way to Chagrin Boulevard at that end. And the conversations that I've had thus far with Mayor Bain in Pepper Pike is that they really, at this point, don't have an appetite for extending that sidewalk. So we can't build a sidewalk in somebody, or a trail in some other city.
Yeah.
Unless they, you know, they get it done some other way. And so I would hope that they would do so. I think it would be worthwhile to enable people to get to the circle, and moreover, to extend it all the way to the schools. But I'm not sure that the schools altogether are encouraging, you know, pedestrian traffic to get to the schools on the street.
It would be
with it.
Yeah, it would be very nice. All right. So, but getting them to move is the most important part. I know who I'm calling first thing tomorrow morning.
Is willing to pay for Pepper Pike to build it.
Yeah.
We could have it.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to do that.
No, and I think it also significantly changes because the corporation lines change north and southbound. So we start about the culvert if you're going southbound, where the northbound comes all the way to Landerwood Glen. It'd be quite pricey to put it on the west side of the road on the southbound lane because of the topography coming off of the country club.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when you start looking at having to add retaining walls and different things like that, certainly the significant cost increases should be anticipated.
Yeah. So it's got to be on the east side of the street.
East side, but then you need to start taking a look at consideration of where's your actual crosswalk. You know, the ideal area probably would be at Orangewood and Lander, but then you're looking at, do we need to add a traffic signal there as well?
Sure.
I grew up in Pepper Pike, and I remember the time that sidewalks, you didn't even bring them up. There were no sidewalks in Pepper Pike ever, and now they have these sidewalks/trails.
Yeah.
So maybe someday.
I ran on it today for the first time, it was funny because I just still like it. I don't even think about it being there. There's not a blinking light when we pull out of our development on Lander Road. Did we ever contemplate a blinking light on Lander Road at Orangewood, or did you ever contemplate a blinking light at like a blinking yellow light at Orangewood, like right at the entrance onto Lander? Really?
It was stolen as a
Recall
prank.
come up on council a bunch of times to adding blinking lights in places. It's not recommended as a standardization issue of like traffic signals and stuff. So it is highly unrecommended.
Blinking lights?
Yeah, because, you know, everybody wants one at their street, and it loses its effect. So
Yeah.
it really doesn't help anything. It's not,
Dangerous like place pulling out of every day, and I feel like it's only getting more dangerous now. Having lived there for 10 years, and now it feels more different than ever before. As Lander Circle traffic. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it works or not, but just.
Historically, you know, the police might be able to comment on that, but my recollection is there's not a ton of accidents at that intersection.
Yeah, yeah.
Way more accidents at, you know, the Henry Lander Road, Harbor Lander, for sure. Sort of coming down the hill in Jackson, which we have a, you know, blinking sign, you know, to
Slow.
let people know that it's only, you know, it's not a roll, stop.
Yeah, yeah.
Given the future development of the Heritage School that's over there, that's the source of much of the traffic that we're now additionally seeing on Lander Road. And, you know, given the fact that they are contemplating a rather aggressive growth for that facility, at some point, there'll need to be a traffic study done for it, but that will be Pepper Pike's to drive, if you will.
Yeah.
And, you know, whatever would come out of that relative to road improvements will have to be on the head of whoever the developer is, so to speak, for the school.
Got it. All right. Thank you for all of my questions. I appreciate it.
Kim Olner.
Yeah, the Blue Envelope program that we are doing now, are all the police officers now, because we're onboarding new people, are they all trained on that when they come on board? If they're not, can you please? Thank you. And I will say that it's spreading. I mean, there's more and more communities that are doing it, which is great, because it's a good program, and the more communities that do it, the more that everybody will know what it is. The next Orange Cares meeting is October 14th at 7 p.m. Planning and zoning, just your basic approvals, nothing special, although there was an additional parking pad for Pinecrest. I thought that was sort of something that was relevant to what people, you know, care about.
What do you mean by that?
There's a spot where behind the playground, it's going to be theoretically one day could be a building, and so it was not paved as the parking lot. And I think they would like it to be a building, but there's recognition that it's not, and it's not going to be anytime soon. So they're turning it into more parking spaces. That's on a temporary I will say it's on a quote unquote temporary basis, because if they are able to find a tenant, you know, somebody to put a building there, then it'll revert back to being a building. So that's, you know, that was discussed. I think the mayor already mentioned the pond and swale maintenance issue, which was discussed at Planning and Zoning quite a bit, actually, and apparently really is a problem for some of our residents. So I'm quite sure we will be hearing more about that in the very near future. So with respect to Planning and Zoning, I thought those were the more interesting things that we heard on. And I just saw in international news that Hamas and Israel may have an agreement, or seemingly do have an agreement, and the hostages are expected to be released in short order. So fingers crossed that that works. So, and that was it. I hope everybody has a safe and happy Halloween, and to remember to drive slowly. There's a lot of kids out on that night, and they're not all wearing reflective clothing or costumes.
Thank you. Stacy.
Good evening, and thank you. Our Arts and Culture Committee met last night, and I want to welcome our newest co-chair, Irina Fahlberg. Irina is a gallery owner at Eaton Mall, and she'll be assisting our awesome leadership team of Jason Kiss and Rochelle Kidder. Justin, who was one of the co-chairs, will be stepping back a bit to take care of his young family and some other commitments. I'm proud to say that we submitted our budget for 2026 with the goal of setting up an events calendar at the beginning of the year for the entire year. We kind of hit the ground running this year with all the arts and culture events. So we'll have something at the beginning of the year to plan out for the entire year. We have focused our attention this month on assisting with the Andres Chavez event coming up next Thursday, the 16th. So we decided to hold off on our Halloween event until next year when we have more time to plan for that. Just a reminder about the Chavez event. I want to thank Ed Wittenberg for his beautifully written story. If you'd like to learn more about the foundation or the process to bring Andre Chavez here, read Ed's story. It's terrific. The Orange Schools are culminating the celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month with this presentation by Andre Chavez. As a reminder, he's the executive director of the National Chavez Center. He's the grandson of American labor leader and civil rights activist Cesar Chavez. He'll discuss the foundation and the legacy of his grandfather's 2027 centennial, which kind of corresponds with ours. Local sponsorships include the Kiwanis Club of Landers Circle, the Alumni Association, that's the button I'm wearing today, as well as Orange Village Arts and Culture, the Orange Foundation, and others. Please, please, please join us for this. It's a free event. It's open to all, Thursday, October 16th at 6:30 in the auditorium. I have flyers for anyone who's interested. I have stickers if you'd like to wear them. The motto is Si se puede. Yes, we can. Yes, we're able. Our committee is also working with Bob Zugan, thank you for your help on this, and the mayor on a holiday lighting event in early December. I think we have a tentative date of December 10th. It'll be right before our council meeting that evening. Should be fun. We're not lighting up everything because everything will pretty much be lit already, but we're looking to light up the gazebo and have some choirs come in and do carol-alongs and just make it a fun, festive evening for everybody. So more on that. In November, we go back to our normal first Thursday of the month schedule in November, and all are welcome. If you have some ideas for arts and culture for the year ahead, we'd love to have you. In school news, quickly, the treasurer presented a draft of the district's 5-year financial forecast. While the schools have not asked voters to pass an operating levy since 2011, it was suggested that a levy might be placed on the ballot next year. It was also suggested by one of our former Orange Village councilmen, now a school board member, that the school board keep an eye on our consideration of the bond issue that would be needed to fund construction of a new fire station and a renovated police station before they make the decision. The school board meeting is with the mayors is set for next Thursday at 8 a.m. You all are invited, and surely there will be a likely discussion about the levy. It will also be discussed at the school board retreat the next day. If you're not able to attend the mayor's meeting and you'd like to hear from our new school treasurer, Gary Platko, please let me know. I'd be happy to invite him into one of our meetings in the future. In other news, the school proudly announced receiving a 5-star rating on the state report card, 8 National Merit semifinalists / commended students, and 2 golfers to states, including our very own Orange Village resident, Jordan Klotman. So congratulations to all on that. As we end the market season, I want to send out a huge thank you to Elizabeth Bach van Valkenburg, Stephanie Crawley, Tara Khan, our amazing service team under Bob Zugan's leadership, and all of those Orange Village residents and non-residents who were involved with the markets this summer. What was just a little spark of an idea about a year and a half ago has become a very special entity for Orange Village. We look forward to growing even bigger and better in the years ahead. If you attended any of the markets and you saw something you liked or would like to see more of, or something you'd like to see less of, please let us know. Now that we found I think it'll be a permanent home in the circle right in front of the building department. We look forward to just growing there and continuing to build on what was started this year. Before you close the market chapter totally, please mark down December 6th as the winter holiday market, which will be back at Moreland Hills Elementary School. A great opportunity to stock up for the holidays. I also want to send out a thank you to Juanita Brent for a wonderful civics lesson in redistricting in the state. It's important to know the rules, and I appreciate her time and efforts. And finally, a huge thank you to Assistant Fire Chief Bill Mandich for his time and efforts to inform our youngest preschoolers about the importance of Fire Safety Week. That's this week right now. He visited the Orange Inclusive Preschool and turned wide-eyed 3- and 4-year-olds into future superheroes as they were lifted into the fire truck and lifted out of the fire truck and learned about what it takes to be a firefighter. They loved they loved having him there. They loved the coloring books and crayons they were given. So I want to thank Bill and all of our first responders for being such an integral part of our entire district community, not just in the work you do, but in the work that you share with our community to bring them into the fold too. I have some of those pictures here tonight, and I'll just show you the one, but you're welcome to look at the others, where this one little boy is just looking up at him like he's a superhero. Perfectly apropos, because he is. So I want to thank him for being there. And I also just want to say, please stay safe this Halloween. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I will make a motion to adjourn to executive session. The full language of the motion can be found on the agenda, and I just ask that you include the full language in the minutes. Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
Thank you. Can you please call roll on adjourning to executive session? There will be no action after executive session, for the record.
Foster.
Yes.
Madden. Perry. Bilski.
Yes.
Allner. Vincent.
Yes.
Silver.
Yes.